What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to the Value TV show, the show where we give you tools to build and have healthy relationships. That's right, tools to build and have healthy relationships. I am Jamel Jackson, your relationship mechanic, and today I brought another lovely couple on the show so we can dive into the relationship. I have the amazing B and his lovely wife, Rochelle.
Hi.
What's going on?
How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Good. How are you?
So before we get into the gist of the conversation, let's start with the man here. B, what do you do, man?
I'm a personal trainer and a group fitness instructor, and have my own app where I do personal training and group classes, and I see clients in person and online.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that why you wore the guns?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Okay.
Got to be a product of the product, so I have to advertise.
Yes.
Okay. Lovely Rochelle.
I am a licensed esthetician and aesthetics instructor. So that's what I do full time.
Yeah. I got one facial a long time
And he
ago.
fell
It was a
asleep.
long time ago.
I'm past due, man. Actually, I was talking to my
Yes.
girl, and she was like, "Man, I need to go see Rochelle for this." Actually, I know this is not part of the show, but look, do I got a black head right here?
You know how many times people are like, hey, I have a skin question. I have a question about this. I'm
No, but I
afraid.
got one right here. I was looking at. Is it there?
I don't know. We have to see. You have to book a
Gotta
consultation.
get close, get
You have to
close.
book a consultation.
Oh no! Oh no! Shameless plug. Shameless
Okay.
plug.
All right, it's cool. So here's the deal. How long you guys been married?
We have been married a year. It'll be 2 years, November 11th.
Like a year and a half.
November 11th, maybe 2 years?
Yes.
I don't know why I thought you guys were married for like 5, 7 years or something
We've
like
been
that.
Oh, wow.
together for
Big 6
6
years.
years.
Yeah,
We've been-
going on 6 years.
Yeah,
we've been
together
together.
for 6 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So hold on, November 11th, that's, whose birthday is November 11th?
Well, it's Veterans Day.
Oh, no, actually my birthday is November 19th.
Okay.
Ah.
My brother's birthday is November 16th. Delph's birthday is, why did I just forget his birthday?
Is it in November too?
It's in November.
But and his birthday is in
My
November.
birthday's in November.
His
On the
birthday
14th.
was 3 days later.
Yeah.
The great people
Yeah.
in November. When's your birthday?
March 11th.
Oh, so sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. No, because before we got married, our anniversary was end of March?
Mm-hmm.
And your thing was always like, oh, I have to deal with Valentine's Day, my mom's birthday, your birthday, and our anniversary. So like it flipped around a little bit. So now it's our anniversary for our wedding, and then now your birthday. So
So how long did you guys know each other before getting married?
Well, we dated, 3.5 years?
4 years.
4 years,
4
yeah.
years.
Okay. So how was the approach? What was it like?
Oh, that's actually really interesting.
The
The approach.
You mean how we met?
Yes.
I guess yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
you could. Do you want to start? Because I like it when you tell it. Because it's always fun. Like I just like it when you tell
Well,
the story.
we met on an app called OkCupid.
Okay, Cupid?
Yes, the
we met
actual
on that
dating
app.
app.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, and so I just messaged her, and then we just ended up messaging back and forth, and ended up going on our first date was at Figo. Actually around the corner from here in Marietta and Vinings.
Okay.
Italian, his
Yep.
favorite.
I know what it is. I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. They got the good pasta.
Yep, exactly. So we had a date there, and went good. And I ended up going to California a few days later because I already had like a trip scheduled, and then came back and just picked up, and then everything was just natural.
But I think a lot of it had to do with we were in close proximity of each other and didn't realize it. So
Right.
like you lived down the street from me, and we also worked down the street from each other.
We lived and worked in the same
in
area.
and never ran into each other.
Ever. But the app, some kind of way,
app,
right?
it's the app.
The app brought us together.
What was the name of it again?
OkCupid. Yeah.
Okay, Cupid. I
Yeah.
need some endorsement because they
Right.
y'all got a powerful couple here from your app. What was I gonna say? Were you flexing? Like, did you have the wife beat on when you met her?
Or the wife beat on when I met her? No.
Not the wife.
I might have had it in a picture or something. I might have had it in a photo on the profile, maybe. I can't even remember, but I didn't show up like that.
He definitely showed the guns on the profile picture.
Okay. Now, did you always have a desire to be married?
Yes, I did, because I saw my mom married. She was married twice. So yeah, I didn't know if I was ever gonna get married, but I knew I wanted to.
And what about you, Rochelle? Did you?
Absolutely. Just, I mean, for you, I know you talked about it a lot. You saw your mother and your stepfather, they had a really nice, loving relationship, and not to go too in detail, but I kind of got the opposite of that. And my desire to be married was because I wanted to have that nice, healthy family and dynamic. So that's why I wanted to. And then, of course, the desire to also be a mother, too. It came with it. So I couldn't have one without the other in my mind. I was like, I have to be married. I have to be. Like, this is, as a woman, I need to be married.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I do this thing with couples, and it's been on a lot of the episodes recently where I talk about this compliment versus competing. And I always say, if you start competing with your partner, then it's already leading downhill. So I'm going to start with Rochelle first. In what ways do you compliment B, versus trying to compete? Because sometimes there could be a couple and one succeeding on another level than the other. And so the other person could be like, you know what? No, I'm going to start making more than her, or I'm going to start doing this more than her. And it turns into this competition.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, how do you compliment him versus competing with him?
Well, first, I mean, just knowing that we're both full-time entrepreneurs, it's not a matter of like, oh, well, you make more money. Like, I don't think we ever have or worry about stuff like that at all. But it's just like, I mean, of course, if I'm down, he helps build me up, and vice versa. And just the biggest thing is support. And I think a lot of people in relationships, they forget about the support factor. Just like really just, hey, what are your aspirations and how can I be a support to you? I feel like I'm able to compliment him in that way.
And what about you, B, to Rochelle?
I like to make sure I give her things to think about that she probably hasn't thought
He
of.
always does, yeah.
So like whatever kind of plan she's embarking on, or she has some goals or things set, and going over the plan, and going over the potential landmines, and making sure that her path would be as smooth as possible.
Okay, so that's the complimenting and the competing, and the next thing I have is the covering. So and I'll start with you this time, B.
Right.
So when she's out and about, busy, doing an entrepreneur thing, handling meetings, scheduling clients, and what way do you find yourself covering her to make sure, she's okay while she's out and about?
Well, I guess, I guess just holding down the house, making, other things easier. So, but it helps when she gives me a heads up. So she'd be like, hey, I'm gonna be working late, or I'm gonna be home at this time, these certain days during the week. So then I'll take care of dinner. I'll make sure that, she gets home, life's a little bit easier, and then, vice versa. So we just help each other out,
Rochelle.
I just try my best to be his peace, because I understand that with y'all men, well, not y'all men, but just you in particular, I just don't ever want you to feel like you're doing everything on your own, and you're just like it's like the weight of the world just on you. So just the peace factor, and finding that balance within, because I mean we both have very busy schedules, but that's not an excuse to not make sure he's good and we're good. So.
See, I always say that takes a level of humility on both ends, because you find some men, and I'm saying some men, are like, look, man, I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing the third. That's the woman's position.
Right.
Have you ever heard men speak like that?
I've heard a few. The thing is, though, you should want to take care of your home. You should want to take care of where you live at. And then if you have a person that's living with you and you care for that person, why wouldn't you want to do those things? Why wouldn't you want a clean home? Why wouldn't you want all of that? I mean, you're not going to cook for yourself, even if you're by yourself. So, I mean, you have somebody with you, you cook. So it's no problem for me to do any of those things.
In your line of work, and she's busy and you're busy, and your line of work, you're doing a lot of fitness.
Right.
So do you ever find yourself, when you got to go home and cover some extra things, like kind of exhausted, like, man, I don't want to do this today?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Same.
And that's when the pre-planning comes in, or we ordering.
Uber Eats, another shameless plug.
Right. Yeah. So
even outside of cooking, like, do you ever find yourself digging into yourself as a man, like, I'm going to go the extra mile because I know I'm tired, but I got to push past this?
Yes. Push past with, even when it comes to, motivating your partner, and listening and having empathy, all of that takes energy, it takes effort. So, you have to be selfless.
Yeah.
Even at the end of the day when you're dog tired, you have to be selfless in the fact that, this other person, they need you to be the sounding board. They need you to hear them out. So just taking the time and just giving that effort.
So Rochelle, what is one challenge as a couple that you believe that you guys had to overcome, especially with balancing business and pleasure, I should say? And when I say pleasure, I'm not talking about, sexual.
Right.
Just
the making time for each other, being intentional. There's a lot of times just recently I was like, hey, we need another date night. And then sometimes we'll plan it and we'll go through it. And then sometimes, just time just takes us away. But I talked to you a couple of times about this, is like a lot of times, especially in the beginning of the relationship, date night doesn't necessarily mean going out spending money. It's just like, how can I pour into you, and we pour into each other type thing, and spending time together, whether it be in the house, what have you. Time is very valuable. So like for me, it was just like making that time for each other and balancing the work life. The work life balance was a big thing for me.
Would you say the same?
Yeah, and communication.
Yeah.
As we're, whenever you have any kind of conversations, like, what did you mean by that, or
oh yeah,
how did you feel about what I said? Things like that, just so everybody is clear. You don't have to walk away, wondering what the other person felt like.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's this exercise that I do with couples. It's called meeting again, and I had to train my mind over the course of years of meeting again. And I learned this from a previous relationship I was in, and how God dealt with me. He said, Jamel, every day I look at you like a new person, new mercy, new grace. So the meeting again is being intentional about meeting the person again as if it was the first week, the first time we met on the app, the first 6 months. And when you first met him or her, you would study intricate details about them. Like, this is the way that he likes his bath water run. Not too many bubbles, just a little bit of bubbles.
Right.
She likes her eggs over hard, not scrambled well, So these little things we're studying, but then somewhere along the line, we're not meeting again, we're just meeting.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's just B, or that's just Rochelle. So what are some things, Rochelle, that you do to keep yourself constantly?
So when I cook for him.
No, not cooking.
No, I'm just, when you said something
Okay,
like
go
the
ahead.
intricate details, and I immediately thought of food, because going back to like, he's a big pasta person. Anytime I make spaghetti or pesto, is always like, oh, he wants it extra saucy. Let me put some extra sauce in it. Like, he always wants extra sauce. Or like, his favorite is pesto. It just kind of like little things, or if we're out, like, oh, you're not at the table, or if you gone to like wash your hands or something, he would like water, no ice. Like it's the little things that matter. And even with the AC, like, let me not touch the thermostat. So, and it's just, but also too, just outside of that, recognizing too, like when like the nonverbal cues, like I could tell when he has a lot on his mind without him even saying it. B is not really, like, he's not a big like talkative person out of the two of us. I think I'm the more socially loud person, I guess. That's probably a bad word, but I'm more in tune, like, hey, you good? Like, without him saying anything, just kind of recognizing his moods. So.
Yeah, that meeting again, and I'm glad you're doing that now, because some couples, over a course of time, they stop that meeting again. They stop studying the sauce and the pasta.
Right.
They stop studying the body language. They're not meeting them again, because when you first meet them, like right now, you're like, man, the sauce has to be like this. The body language has to be like this. What are some things you're doing, B, to like meet her again, as if it was that first time locating her on the app, or the first week, or first 2 months?
Well, I'm just being, like I said, receptive. So she's like, all right, little date nights, do little things like that. So I'm planning more things, making sure, I'm just more in tune to, what she might need as, her business grows and gets busier. So, we're big on the whole food thing. Setting up her favorite shows, just doing Family Guy. Family Guy in South Park, and then, so, just setting up those shows, just making sure, putting the phone down, popping the popcorn, just making sure that we are into each other and we have, that one-on-one time.
I love it, I love it. So every couple that's came on the show, well, not every couple, but previously the last couple couples, I give them a word. And so I'm gonna give you a word, and this word, I want you to define I want you to give me a definition of what it means to you, and then how it applies to your relationship.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you the word,
Okay.
and then what that word means to you, and how does it apply to your relationship. And we're going to start with B.
Okay.
And your word is bridge.
Bridge.
I wanted that word.
Bridge. What does it mean to me? It means.
And how does it apply to your relationship?
What it means to me is to connect two distant points. And how does it relate to our relationship? That's a good question. I would say that, I guess depending on, we might have had, different viewpoints on certain things. It could be a wide range of topics. Anything from what's going on in the world to, what's going on in the house or even in our relationship. But our communication was the bridge. Our communication is what linked us together, what keeps us together. And we're not burning the bridge. We're not, stopping the communication. We're making sure that it's open and that it's flowing and that we're able to make sure, like I said earlier, that we have clarity. And that's just the main thing, that we're able to, really express our ideas respectfully, listen in earnest, and keep the channels open.
Nice, nice. Mrs. Rochelle. Your word is...
Not bridge. I wanted bridge. I was like,
bridge is gone.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Your word is birth.
Birth. Oh.
Hold on a second. Do you guys have any kids?
No,
We don't.
we don't
Okay.
have any kids.
So your word is birth.
That's what, I really went to child, but birth is in a relationship, knowing that as individuals, we are constantly evolving and we are growing, which with growing, for me, when you're in a relationship, as two individuals having human experience, things grow, you're birthing these new defined relationships. Birth is just new beginnings, life. It's everything positive for me, and I just feel like in terms of the relationship, I'm able to see him and his business and how we're able, going back to the communicate and grow through that. And it's we're nowhere how we were when we first started, and I know that it's just going to continue to progress. And for me, that's birthing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's interesting because I always think about prior to the show, I'm kind of meditating, what two words do I want to put out there? What word do I want to give the guy? Which word do I want to give the woman? Mm-hmm. And this morning I was like, okay, you know what? I was looking at you guys' profile and I was thinking about you guys when I interacted, and I said, okay, I'm going to give B bridge and Rochelle birth. Mm-hmm. But I think it's amazing how those two words actually connect.
Connected, yeah.
Bridge and birth connect, So now I never did this right here, what I'm about to do. Okay, I thought about this. I actually thought about this last night, but I'm going to do it with every couple after this.
Okay,
so you guys are the first.
We're the guinea pigs.
So, obviously, the subtitle of this summer series is Meeting Again. And one thing I wanted to do was, I don't know, when you guys did your wedding, did you guys do vows? When you guys had your wedding?
So we had a very small, it was not traditional at all.
We got vows.
Yeah, yes. We have vows.
Okay, so here's what I want to do right now as we close out the show. B, I want you to look into Rochelle's eyes, and it doesn't have to be, I want you to look into her eyes, really, because this is going to that meeting again, because you guys been married, we said a year?
It'll be 2 years, so a year and a half.
Okay, so a year and a half, but obviously you haven't said your vows in a year and a half.
Right.
But I want this moment to be like that meeting again moment, and I want you to look at Rochelle and express to her, a couple of sentences how you would say it if this was the wedding day.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No pressure, okay? No pressure.
Even if you kind of take your mind back there in that moment and then just start to breathe out new fresh words, because it's been a year and a half, but this is a part of that meeting again exercise.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of the words.
It's okay.
Put you on the spot. Look, I'm thinking too. It's okay.
So just tell her the vows, basically.
Just tell her.
Tell me how you feel, baby.
Baby, I love you. I appreciate you. And I'm just grateful that you're a part of my life. And, you know, I'm excited to be with you every single day. And I just look forward to the future with you.
Love it.
Yeah.
Rochelle.
So I'm not a poet or anything, but B, I see you, I've seen you, and I will continue to see you through. I love who you are as a person and who you have yet to become, and I'm just excited to continue to have a front row seat to this thing called life with you, through it all, unconditionally. I love you.
Kiss the bride.
We're married again.
I love it, man. Listen, if you guys are single, dating, or married, and you're looking for tools to build and have healthy relationships, tune into the Value TV show. I'm Jamel Jackson, your relationship mechanic. Before we go, where can they find you at, B?
You can find me on Instagram at body, B-O-D-Y, .B-Y.B-E-E.
Rochelle?
And then you could find me at Rochelle Aesthetics.
There we go. We out of here. Peace.